numbers to see what that is. And we had also proposed looking at stations that are beyond 0.8 miles from a subway station, and because in the Bronx there's a lot of subway access, that it only apply to certain stations. So I think
how would that work? I mean, like the Hudson line where we came in on Marble Hill to 25th Street #1 train.
Right, like that, I know that Marble Hill.
The Harlem line's the same lane.
Right, so I mean we have to look at that and revisit it and see what the council wants to do in regards to that.
You can use it at Riverdale, you can use it at Spike Drive, but you can't use it.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the aspects of the proposal was that it would be put into place after there's a new fare payment system, and also after East Side Access comes online, because those are the things that are going to put the ridership numbers that are going to affect the distribution of ridership, and also the ability to have that kind of complicated fare collection system. However, even in the early analysis,
this came up in our advisory group also. This came up as a side item, and some other things that people said that needed to be looked at in addition to capacity was that how would this impact parking in the so-called transit desert areas of in New York City, because you might have people who are close enough in Long Island to drive over to Queens to pay $275 instead of paying what their normal fare is, and people like maybe in Lower Westchester might drive into the Bronx and park, and so they're saying there are issues that need to be looked at with something like that.
absolutely, and
Certainly
one of
not
the
straightforward, that's for sure.
And not straightforward.
Complicated issues.
and one of the things that we proposed in the initial report was that there be a premium fare so that it was closer to the express bus fare rather than a subway fare. Because then you take
Good idea.
riders out of the buses,
Right.
and you shorten their time, and you only use it on places where there is the capacity to
Right.
accept that. But also for that one of that reasons is that you don't want people necessarily driving, putting more cars on the road to do that. The other issue is who's going to subsidize it.
Right.
They're looking to raise funds, not defund.
Right.
So how is that going to
That
work?
was the big issue.
Yeah.
You're
Of
correct,
course.
because they said, you bring up this idea, but nobody brought up funding. How we're already looking at trying to fund MTA now.
And in our initial report, we had suggested that for any losses that the railroad might experience because of this, that it's really important for the municipalities to pitch in money to subsidize it. So I think that that's something, because of this new comptroller's report that comes out that didn't offer any funding solutions, that we could plug in more of pushing municipalities to pay in to subsidize for the lower fares, even though we still are calling for the premium fare, that there could be room to discuss that as well. But.
Right. It was just interesting that the person who's in charge of the money was trying to spend the money.
Right, yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything, if there's nothing else, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Anything else?
No, that's it from here.
We get a second?
I'll second that.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we're adjourned. Thank you, everyone who participated. It's like the first time we had